And good morning. This is June 22nd, 21st, just a couple days after the solstice, a couple months into growing gourds, and we have some exciting news going on here. We have our first female flower on our medievally grown gourds. And no surprise, it is with the one that was grown in a basket. And so you can see that flower in the center of the screen, and it has that really long plump base to the flower, and that's the ovary that will form the bottle gourd. And right next door to it is a male flower, and you can see how it is lacking that swollen base. It just kind of has this cup to hold the petals, whereas this one has that longer, swollen, narrower base. Cool thing about this one, this is the Italian cucuzzi, and it has a long, narrow, swollen base. The other bottle gourds that have more bottle shapes are actually have kind of round, little button swollen bases to their female flowers. It's really cool. And so now, first thing here in the morning, I am going to pollinate. So to pollinate, I've taken a male flower and I've pulled back and pulled off all of the petals of the flower. And you can see we have this lovely selection of pollen on its anthers ready to go. And then we just come down here. Whoops, get my angle. To the female flower here. And with the stigma that are sticking up, and we just come in and we pretend to be a pollinator, and we just dab all that lovely pollen all over, encouraging those pollen tubes to form, make all the little seeds. I'll then encourage the plant to take that potential ovary and turn it into a bottle gourd fruit that we can then eat. Awesome. And then the basket grown one, the transplant from a basket, and is in the lower portion of the screen. You can just see how amazingly large it is compared to the other ones. And it has so many flowers on it. And what's really fun is that with the lengthening days, it starts to trigger the female fruit production. And now we have a little baby one over here. And so tomorrow morning, this one will be ready for pollination. And it's always lovely to try to pollinate from another plant to try to get good cross-pollination. Not necessarily for changing the varietal type, but just to increase genetic diversity. It's kind of, it helps trigger the plant to produce larger or more successful fruit. And then these are the two bottle gourds that I planted from those plastic 3.5-inch pots and were not covered. You can just really see the difference in growth. And a quick peek in what's going on in the hoop house over there. You can start to see some of the bottle gourds climbing up over the hog panels. Let's take a closer look. And inside, things are just growing fabulous. I went ahead and permanently peeled back the plastic because the flowers were attracting pollinators and they were coming in and getting trapped because they were getting confused by the plastic, even though this is bee-friendly plastic. And then also our nights are predicted to stay above 50, and 50 is kind of that magical temperature for a lot of our tropical gourd plants. It is curious the difference in growth rates between this more southern bed and then this bed that's to the north. I don't know if that's sunshine, water. The bed should have been prepped the same, but I'm not too sure. And then this one here, which is a Corsican, just produced two, sorry about that, female flowers. And here you can see how much more round that potential, or the ovary is, the potential gourd fruit. These are the Corsicans that kind of grow into bowl shapes. And you can see how that looks like it. It's really cool. I didn't anticipate these ovaries to have such a distinct difference in shape. And then this is one of the birdhouse gourd potential ovaries here. I hand pollinated it a couple of days ago. And that's what's left of the flower, which is going to fall off here. And you can see with this one too, it does look like a bottle. So it kind of has that birdhouse or the pilgrim flask kind of look to it, that rounder base, narrow neck, and then another bulge up here. So very cool. You can see all the little fuzzy bits going on. Helps keep its drought tolerance high. So that's lovely, and it's going to be helpful here as we come on into the summertime. Those leaves are just so luscious and big, smoothed edge. Growing next to it though, it's a very curious thing, and it is the snake gourd, or the Armenian cucumber. And you can see the leaves look really similar to the bottle gourd. The dark green is the bottle gourd. This lighter green is the Armenian cucumber. But the leaf edges have these little prickles, and so that's a good kind of distinction between the two. And then of course, like with most all of our other cucurberates in the cucumber family, we have yellow flowers on the Armenian or the snake melon. So yeah, really fun. Cucumbers are doing well. I'm excited about these guys. Again, yellow flowers, more of the prickly leaf margins, and there's a few baby cucumbers hanging out in. Oh, there it is. I found it. Dun, dun, dun. Baby cucumber. And another cucumber down there. And then the other one that we're growing next to the all-important morning coffee is a sweet melon. So yeah, I don't see any potential fruit yet on this little guy. But there we have it. And one last thing that I might try to dig into the whole bottle gourd research is Hill mentions some pretty detailed instructions on pruning these guys. And so you can see, even though we have 3 plants growing here, it's starting to produce a lot of side shoots. And so I need to dig in to Hill and try to decipher what he's talking about in pruning. And then also Castle Vestro, when he's talking about gourds, talks about taking the vines and those that have little round buttons or balls on it to cook those up, and the ones that have more little proto fruit on it are more delightful. So I'm gonna try cooking up some of these tendrils too and see what happens. All right, and time to get watering. We're gonna be in for a couple hot days. So my poor pea crop, it's all that yellow mess out there. Oh, poor peas, they're not meant for this heat. All right, take care everyone. Bye-bye.